नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 6, The Killing of Demon Putana. Text number 37 and 38. Padbhyam Bhakta Hridhi Stabhyam Vandyabhyam Lokavanditaye Angam Yasyaha Samakramya Bhagavan Api Tatstanam Yatudhani. Padbhyam Bhaktaridhi Stabhyam Vandabhyam Lokavanditaye Angam Yasyaha Samakramya Bhagavan Apitastanam. Padmyam Bhaktaridhi Stabhyam Vandyabhyam Lokavanditaye Angam Yasya Samakramya Bhagavan Apitastanam. Padbhyam Bhaktaridhi Stabhyam Vandyabhyam Lokavanditaye Angam Yasya Samakramya Bhagavan Apitastanam. Padbhyam Bhaktaridhi Stabhyam Nanam Lokavanditaye Angam Yasya Samakramya Bhagavan Apitastanam. Padmyam Bhaktaridhi Stabhyam Vandyabhyam Lokavanditaye Angam Yasya Samakramya Bhagavan Apitastanam. Padmyam Bhaktaridhi Stabhyam Vandyabhyam Lokavanditaye Angam Yasya Samakramya Bhagavan Apitastanam. Mataji's. Padmyam Bhaktaridhi Stabhyam Vandyabhyam Lokavanditaye Bhagavan Apitastanam. We read the verse number 38 also. Yatudhani apin sasvargam avapa janani gatim Krishna bhukta sthana shira kim ugavo अनुमतारः. Padbhyam by the two lotus feet. Bhaktariti sthabhyam, which are always thought of by pure devotees, in whose heart the Lord is therefore situated constantly. Vandyabhyam, which are always to be praised. Lokavanditahi, by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are praised by all inhabitants of the three worlds. Angam, the body. Yasya, of whom. Putana, Samakramya, embracing. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Api, also. Tastanam, that breast. Yatudhani api, although she was a witch whose business was to kill small children and who had tried to kill Krishna also. Sa, she. Swargam, the transcendental abode. Avapa, achieved. Janani gatim, the position of a mother. Krishna bhukta sthana shiraha, therefore because their breasts were sucked by Krishna, who drank the milk flowing from their bodies. Kim u, what to speak of. Gavaha, the cows. Anumataraha, exactly like mothers who allowed their nipples to be sucked by Krishna. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is always situated within the core of the heart of the pure devotee, and he is always offered prayers by such worshipable personalities such as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Because Krishna embraced Putana's body with great pleasure and sucked her breast, although she was a great witch, she attained the position of a mother in the transcendental world and thus achieved the highest perfection. What then is to be said of the cows whose nipples Krishna sucked with great pleasure and who offered their milk very jubilantly with affection, exactly like that of a mother? Purport: these verses explain how devotional service rendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly, becomes successful. Putana was neither a devotee nor a non-devotee. She was actually a demoniac witch, instructed by Kamsa to kill Krishna. Nonetheless, in the beginning she assumed the form of a very beautiful woman and approached Krishna exactly like an affectionate mother, so that Mother Yashoda and Rohini did not doubt her sincerity. The Lord took all this into consideration, and thus she was automatically promoted to a position like that of Mother Yashoda. As explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, there are various roles one may play in such a position. Putana was immediately promoted to Vaikuntha Loka, which is also sometimes described as Swarga. The Swarga mentioned in this verse is not the material heavenly planet, but the transcendental world. In the Vaikuntha Loka, Putana attained the position of a nurse, Dhatri Uchitam, as described by Uddhav. Putana was elevated to the position of a nurse and maid servant in Golok Vrindavan to assist Mother Yashoda. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kudamayam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Padbhyam Bhaktaridistabhyam Vandabhyam Lok Vanditai Angam Yasyaha Samakramya Bhagavan Abhitastanam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is always situated within the core of heart of the pure devotee. And is always offered prayers by such worshipable personalities as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Because Krishna embraced Putna's body with great pleasure and sucked her breast. Although she was a great witch, she attained the position of a mother in the transcendental world and thus achieved the highest perfection. What then is to be said of the cows whose nipples Krishna sucked with great pleasure and who offered their milk very jubilantly with affection, exactly like that of a mother? In this most glorious and beautiful pastime of the deliverance of the demon Putana, Srila Prabhupada is explaining in this beautiful purpose as how even an envious soul approaching Krishna can become purified or will become purified. And these purports are those purports where Srila Prabhupada is towards this, the concluding of his earthly pastimes. And Srila Prabhupada is rendering these purports with great detail. Generally, when we have to conclude something, we want to haste it up so that we can accomplish the finality of our exercise. Srila Prabhupada is very carefully trying to explain the details of this pastime from the perspective of the various acharyas. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning three key factors here. Srila Prabhupada is explaining how devotional service is rendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether directly or indirectly, knowingly or unknowingly become successful, is one point. And then Putana was not even a non-devotee. What to speak of a devotee? She was a witch. And she was a witch, and she was just sent by Kamsa. She didn't even care to know who Krishna is. It was Kamsa who knew about Krishna, but Putana was just sent like a executioner. Executioner does not want to understand who the person is to be killed. As long as the person is a baby, does not have to inquire about a baby. What are the qualities of the baby? To kill a baby does not require any prior information. So she had no practically understanding, no information of who Krishna is. Practically she may not even have known the age of Krishna. But here Prabhupada is mentioning that nonetheless, in the beginning she assumed a form of a very beautiful woman. This is her service to Krishna, which was counted by Krishna. That even if she had come like a witch, probably Krishna would have not sucked her breasts, because there was no feelings to awaken such emotions. There was no presentation in a form to provoke such kind of affection. She came disguised as a beautiful woman that was the first step, that she at least presented herself in a very comforting way. But next step she took was to offer Krishna the milk. She could have killed Krishna by any other means, but she chose to feed Krishna the milk which was smeared with poison. Krishna considered her efforts in bhakti. I mean, not in bhakti, but Krishna considered his bhakti, because that effort of killing also was filled with attention to details. So sometimes we may think in bhakti details are not necessary. If the essence is there, then it is enough to evoke that compassion and mercy from Krishna. But here Putna is first giving attention to details. And how should I approach Krishna? I should approach Krishna in a very covert way, in a disguised way. And therefore she mentions, and she comes in a very, and she does it basically, and she delivers her performance very well. Krishna knew that, okay, she was really perfect in her execution. So Krishna Prabhupada mentioned, the Lord took all this into consideration. Generally, our perspective is to see the final conclusion, to judge the consequence by its outcome or the final result. But Krishna is the other way around. Krishna does not consider the final outcome, but Krishna considers in this way a great detail which was filled with conspiracy. And third, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that there are various roles one may play in a position in the spiritual world, like a mother. There could be various roles that a position of mother may have. And this is where Putana, it is described that Krishna has offered Putana as a position of a nurse. Anumatara, I mean, this is mentioned that Swargam, Janani Gatim. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that Putana was promoted to Vaikuntha Loka, which is also sometimes called as Swarga. And even Uddhav is describing that Putana attained the position of a nurse in Vaikuntha Loka. And Prabhupada mentions his final statement after all the acharyas, that Putana was elevated to the position of a nurse and a maid servant in Golok Vrindavan to assist Mother Yashoda. One cannot say that Prabhupada has just concluded, yes, okay, that okay, Golok Vrindavan, just like we mentioned so casually, Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha. But Swarga is so difficult to attain. So here Prabhupada mentioning very clearly in Golok Vrindavan to assist Mother Yashoda. And therefore, at least we can just try to illuminate or just to briefly touch these 3 points, very inspiring for a practitioner of Krishna consciousness, very hope-giving purport. Many people come to Krishna for many disguised motivations. They come in bhakti, we come in bhakti. Of course, they were we before, and we also came from such culture where we were having a lot of expectations. We had a lot of expectation when we wanted to take to the devotional service, and we had developed a lot of concepts and premonitions according to the kind of expectations that we had built up. And therefore, the wonderful part of bhakti is that in the course of execution of devotional service, these premonitions get aligned to Krishna's expectations. The journey of bhakti of a sadhaka is from my expectation to Krishna's expectation. My way of seeing everything in bhakti to Krishna's way of vision, Krishna's vision, how he would see. And that is the perspective where where the process of devotional service brings about purification. When we talk about purification a lot of times, that purification is a change of our expectation and the transformation of the vision. In fact, this is to be very much described in the situation of being fortunate. This is a very difficult aspect which sometimes we ever try to go back in our spiritual life and we still wonder, how did I land up here? We never thought about it, we never thought in the wildest of our dreams. We never were thinking of executing at the fag end of our life also, these kind of things. So then Srila Prabhupada's disciples were, two sannyasi disciples were asking Srila Prabhupada this question, that what brings us to this fortunate position to associate with the spiritual master? And many a times this was explained that Prabhupada says it is the Sukruti, it is alone mercy. Then why not everyone? Prabhupada mentions the process of coming to Krishna, the very detailed process of coming to Krishna is that we have some previous heaps of previous credits of some pious activities, punya, which brings us to either a fortunate situation in this world or a misfortunate condition. But this piety will bring us to a condition when one will be accosting or will be just intercepted or intervened in life by a devotee of the Lord, somewhere or the other. And there, when that connection takes place, Prabhupada mentions that there could be a lot of interaction. So many people have been interacted with devotees. Why not everyone coming to Krishna? A little detailed analysis is this. And Prabhupada mentions that Krishna in the heart of that person says, it dictates, do it. Generally, a devotee to create that Sukruti either asks or requests, can you do this for us? Can you do this for me? And then Krishna dictates within the heart of a person, give it, do it, help this person. And that becomes the credit. That becomes the deciding factor. Prabhupada says that just like if we go to some person and say, a rich person, you are not the proprietor, Krishna is the proprietor, give everything to Krishna. Prabhupada says he will become angry and he will lose the opportunity. Murko hi upadeshanam. What is that? Prabhakayana shantaye. That means instead of trying to awaken that devotion or that sukriti, that person become angered. So therefore we beg. We take the position of a beggar and we beg, please, can you help us? This was a characteristic quality of Srila Prabhupada. We find in the early days of the movement, Srila Prabhupada would beg these people, can you help me with this? I am an old man. He would always say, I am an old man, I can die anytime. But actually he was more younger than all the younger ones. But he was saying, I am an old man, I am going to die, I have started this movement at the fag end of my life, you are very young, you have a very long life to go, you can do so much for your spiritual master, and actually you are actually helping me assist my spiritual master, and so many wonderful things which endeared all these disciples or these newly acquired sukritis of these Westerners to do something for Srila Prabhupada. Oh, let us do something for the old man. Initially they felt like that. But afterward they realized that old man is doing everything for them. This old man is not an old man. He is not like an old grandfather like us we are thinking. He is an empowered acharya. But that was the trick of Srila Prabhupada. And that's how he is also allowing us to be tricked by us, by him. And Prabhupada mentioned that actually, that is the devotee crooked or simple? And then devotees did not want to say that no, Prabhupada is crooked. So he said, no, devotee is simple. Prabhupada said, no, devotee is crooked. And sometimes we cannot understand the simplicity in the crookedness of a devotee. It is very disguised. Just like a neophyte may come disguised with crookedness, may exhibit simplicity. A devotee may exhibit crookedness, but actually is very simple at heart. This example, like just reflecting on Yudhishthira Maharaj and Arjun. Yudhishthira Maharaj was very moral. Even after fighting and like he is going to Yudhishthira, is going to Dhritarashtra at the end, and Dhritarashtra is asking how many soldiers have been killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Yudhishthira Maharaj has accurate figures, statistics. It is mentioned that he mentioned to Dhritarashtra that it is 166 crores and 20,000 soldiers. And how many survived? 27,145. That's all. And with all of these, when Yudhishthira is seeing that situation, is seeing that massacre on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, it is like a sight not to be unheard of. If that section of the Mahabharata, if anyone has been reading it, it's like virtually a very cruel and a very, very saddening scene. The wives of the Kauravas are going and identifying the bodies of their husbands. Somewhere they are finding the torso, but they are not finding the head. It's a very gruesome sight. Imagine Yudhishthira Maharaj. What must, because he is accepting all the blame on him. And therefore he is saying at the end, I don't want to rule anymore now. Very moral and very integrable character. But imagine, Yudhishthira Maharaj exhibited his integrity and morality, but Krishna wanted to speak the Gita to Arjun because he would not thwart Krishna's grand plan. That means Yudhishthira was so moral, would have really said, Krishna, I cannot do it. This is against the rules. So Yudhishthira Maharaj had his position and Arjun had his position, and both of them were serving Krishna in their situation as if like Bhishma Dev and Arjun. They looked of the opposing parties, but actually they were both bent on glorifying Krishna. Bhishma was bent on glorifying Krishna with his crookedness by a plan to kill the Pandavas, and Arjun was exhibiting his soft-heartedness and his compassion not to kill Bhishma in such a way that Krishna is bringing out the emotions of reciprocation with his devotees in so many conflicting varieties. And therefore Krishna can never be understood, can never be judged, that Krishna can do this only. So then Prabhupada was asked by the disciples that, how is that Krishna dictates or gives sanctions to that person and not to everyone? Prabhupada said, that you cannot dictate to Krishna. That is Krishna's reservation. Whom he wants to sanction that you approach and you do this for this devotee, and whom not to inspire. And therefore we find that when even Satyavrat, King Satyavrat, when he was approached by that small fish in that river, saying that I am helpless, there are so many dangerous aquatics here which will just devour me, please help me. And he was thinking that he is showing mercy on this fish. But later on that fish began to grow from the small water pot to a big, to a pond, to a lake, to a river, to a sea. And he realized that Krishna was bent on giving mercy to Satyavrat, King Satyavrat. And that's where we find that even in the various instances of Srimad Bhagavatam, that this rare meeting of a wandering soul with a pure devotee of the Lord is not an accident. It is the grand design of Krishna. It is a conspiracy between the devotee and the Lord. The Lord's reservation and the devotee's crookedness. And we find here that today being the most glorious occasion of Srila Ishwara Puri's disappearance day, it is a wonderful meditation on this wonderful meeting of the Lord and his own devotee who had taken the role of the spiritual master. Srila Ishwara Puri was the disciple of Srila Madhavendra Puri, who is said to be the seed of the tree, of the Chaitanya tree. And the first sapling is Ishwara Puri. And then we describe that, mentioned the Chaitanya Bhagavat, that how Srila Ishwara Puri served his spiritual master at the end of his life while doing all the menial tasks, at the same time giving so many remembrance of the Lord. Vis-a-vis we find Ramachandra Puri was another disciple at that time. He was a little bit annoyed with the condition of Srila Madhavendra Puri, who was lamenting in great ecstasy. And then we find that Ramachandra Puri, because of criticizing his spiritual master, which is the tendency to not see from Krishna's perspective. We could have find, if the Vrajvasis were so much aligned with Krishna's vision, they did not see Putana's crookedness. A devotee is so pure that he does not see crookedness in the heart of a crooked person. He sees simplicity in the heart of a crooked person. But a non-devotee cannot see the simplicity in the heart of a seemingly crooked behavior of a devotee. And therefore the Brajvasis also joined in Krishna's vision in appreciating Putana. And this way, Ishwara Puri, Ramachandra Puri basically saw, where there was ecstasy, he saw lamentation. And Ishwara Puri saw the lamentation as great ecstasy because of the service attitude. And therefore, that service attitude grew up into that opportunity where Ishwara Puri visited Navadvip. and he met in the house of Advaita Acharya when Mukunda was singing the glories of Lord Krishna. Immediately this ordinary sannyasi started to perform, and he became ecstatic in emotions which could not be covered anymore, and everyone realized he is a great soul. Srila Ishwara Puri was then recognized by everyone as not a sannyasi who was having an ekadanda. Externally he was having an ekadanda, but actually everyone recognized him to be a great soul. Later, Srila Ishwara Puri met Nimai walking on the streets of Navadip, and he asked him about what is his occupation, and he was saying, I am teaching grammar, and they had a discussion. And then Srila Ishwara Puri, meeting Lord Chaitanya, knew he is not a soul of this world. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he wanted to meet this young boy, this captivating boy again. Later, he went to the house of Nimai Pandit, and Sachimata cooked a grand feast. This became Nimai's obsession now. He wanted to meet Srila Ishwara Puri back again, but because his pastimes of scholarship were due, and then after the disappearance of his father, he went to Gaya to perform the ritualistic ceremonies, and there Srila Ishwara Puri was waiting. He was there, the right place, the right time, and both of them met again, and Ishwara Puri went again to the house of Lord Chaitanya, and he said, would you offer me some prasad? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai, he cooked the feast separately he cooked again the feast for Srila Ishwara Puri, and there he developed a desire to surrender his life to Srila Ishwara Puri. And therefore, this is not providence. This is the disguise of providence, which is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead with a person who is sincere. Even if Putana was doing everything very sincerely, her motivations were misguided. Generally, we talk about how one should have the right motivation. The act is not important. But Krishna can take the otherwise also. Your act is important, your motivation is not counted. So generally we have to approach Krishna with this intention, that even if we are imperfect, we must approach Krishna with a perfect desire. But even if someone else is approaching Krishna with a perfect external superficialities, one should not say that this person is a cheater. He has come to cheat Krishna. For that, we can see that Krishna is seeing like he is seeing Putana. So we participate in Krishna's pleasure by seeing the way Krishna sees. Imagine someone would see something and the master is seeing something else, the servant is seeing something else. The master has become annoyed with the servant's vision. To see the way Krishna sees is to give pleasure to Krishna. That means to be respectful, to be grateful, and to be just seeing the will of the Lord in everything. In that way, we find that Srila Ishwara Puri later gave initiation to Lord Chaitanya, and from then onwards he began his Sankirtan movement. Later on, Ishwara Puri, after his disappearance, he sent two disciples to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to assist Lord Chaitanya. There's Govinda and Kashishwar. Both of them assisted Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu later went to the house of Srila Ishwara Puri, which is Kumar Hatta. And that place is such a special place. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rolled in ecstasy in the dust of that place. He collected the dust from that place, he kept with himself, and every day he would take a bit of that dust in loving memory and gratitude for Ishwarapuri. A disciple, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was showing, is never disconnected in being grateful to his spiritual master. And he bites off, and bites are the daily daily memory and the daily remembrance of the instructions of the spiritual master that one tries to assimilate every day. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was filled with so much of ecstasy that the tears filled a whole kund, and that place is Chaitanya Doha. Not even that, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Navadvip, Srivas Thakur and his three brothers, Sripati, Srinidhi and Sri Ram, they left that place which was like deserted, and they went and made their house in Kumarhatta, in the same place of Srila Ishwarapuri. And there they could connect to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the wonderful mercy of Srila Ishwarapuri. So this is how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified his devotee by accepting Srila Ishwarapuri as his spiritual master. And in this way we find that Lord Krishna embraced Putana. And that's how she was accepted by Krishna at that point of time as her mother. Once Srila Prabhupada was in Jew, and a lot of devotees were sitting around, and actually they were in Sethi's house, Mr. Sethi's house, because there was some constructions going on. And in Sethi's house there was a laborer. He was just wearing a single cloth. He was very thin. He came to the doorway, came inside, put a flower on the table of Srila Prabhupada. Did not just give personally to Srila Prabhupada, gave the flower on the table and offered obeisances. And he left. Srila Prabhupada was stunned for minutes. And then he said, just see, patram pushpam phalam dvayam, yo me bhaktya prayachati. Offer me a leaf, flower, fruit and water. I will accept. If offered with devotion, I accept it. So, Prabhupada said, just see. He offered this flower, a single flower, and I have become affected with that devotion, with that. I am happy with it. So in this wonderful exchange, Srila Prabhupada is bringing two different perspectives and two different levels. Prabhupada is saying, just see Krishna's greatness. That Krishna, I am happy with one flower, but Krishna is so great, but still is happy with one flower. I am an ordinary living entity, and I am happy with one flower. But Krishna is so great, his greatness means he should be offered more than that, much more than that. But he is offered only one flower. If Krishna is going to be happy with one flower offered with that devotion, that is Krishna's greatness. And then he said, imagine how I felt with this small affection. How will Krishna feel? Krishna also feels for one small act of devotion. So it is not the act that counts. Here we discussed two different perspectives how Krishna sees. Here Krishna can see a little act, an insignificant act, cannot be counted in marathon scores, in the number of devotees that we make, in the number of, or in the volumes of wealth we may offer to Krishna. Krishna sees the devotion. Krishna sees that sincerity. And therefore Krishna reciprocates with the sincerity with a future opportunity. And therefore a devotee who has the sincerity will take up much more opportunity to reciprocate with Krishna's mercy. So this is the whole act of Agyat Sukruti, to create for ourselves purpose. Our temples are created for that purpose, where we offer obeisances and people watch others who are coming offering obeisances. Then we also feel like offering they also feel like offering obeisances. And then what are they doing? Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. They are offering obeisances as per Krishna's instruction. Without their knowing, they are following Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, a devotee is the most important via medium to create that Agyat Sukruti. That means more a devotee performs his devotional service, creates more opportunities for himself or herself and also for others. But if a devotee is not responsible in his conduct and his behavior, many people will lose that Agyat Sukruti which Krishna has sanctioned. Krishna's sanction and devotee's rejection. Devotee may create that rejection. Therefore, we are now a movement where lot of people have coming in contact with the institution through the association of devotees. And any irresponsible conduct will put off their Agyat Sukruti and their glorious chance to be with Krishna. Therefore, Vrajvasis did not sabotage Putana's deliverance by destroying the Agyat Sukruti. They allowed that concession at the risk of danger to Krishna in one sense. That mood is what the mood of the bearers of this very special movement, whose very special founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada is so special. He has created all these opportunities for Agyat Sukruti for all of us and for all the others who are unfortunate in this world. And yet, we could just become an instrument of, we can become an instrument of assisting Krishna, or we could become an instrument of sabotage. And therefore, our bhakti will also create opportunities for so many others, and by the blessing of so many others is what will get more opportunities. So this is very wonderful. We should, this is our prayer at this wonderful day, Srila Ishwara Puri Disappearance Day, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed himself as a humble servant of his spiritual master, biting off the dust of the place, of the appearance of the Lord. In fact, Srila Ishwara Puri, when he first approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave one service. Again, Agyat Sukruti. That would you like to edit my book, Krishna Leelamrit? And he was a scholar. And Nimai Pandit said, oh, this position is perfect composition. Anything that is in glorification of Lord is pure and perfect. But yet, you do some service. So he gave the service where there was no service actually. It was perfect composition. And then Nimai Pandit said that instead of Atmane Padi, it should be Parasmai Padi. A grammatical adjustment which we can never comprehend. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai said that, but then Ishwara Puri came back the next day and said, no, this is right in this context. And Nimai Pandit felt that he was so happy to be defeated by his future spiritual master. This same pastime was enacted so many 500 years later with Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, where Srila Prabhupada was a Gandhian, and he said, before India's independence, no one will listen to this message. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj emphasized, no, even in this context, it is more important to preach Krishna consciousness. And that's the same feeling which Srila Prabhupada felt. Abhay Charan, I felt so happy to be defeated by my spiritual master. Therefore, to be always being defeated by the spiritual master is the glory of a disciple. To be always remain like a fool and never think that we know by becoming so wise spending years in bhakti, that we know better than the spiritual master. So this is where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Srila Prabhupada showed the proper aspect of Krishna consciousness as being a disciple and also following the instructions. Prakashananda Saraswati also got that Sukruti. He said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu created that Sukruti for Prakashananda Saraswati, whoever it was. He was standing in that place where people would wash their feet. Of all those sannyasis, it was Prakashananda Saraswati who was the fortunate, and he gave a hand to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He specifically radiated the Brahman effulgence just to give the Sukruti of giving hand to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That was the beginning of his transformation. So these opportunities will come in our lives, and therefore these must be considered as special arrangements of the Lord to elevate us in our Krishna consciousness. And this is Putana's elevation, and this is Putana's elevation with respect to our own spiritual transformation can take place when we are surrounded by devotees who are willing to accept the way Krishna sees. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. How Krishna is pleased with so many devotees. They are doing so many wonderful things. And that's how we also create our own fortune by seeing the way Krishna sees and participating and assisting in the pleasure of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? Govind Prabhu. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Ishwar Puri Pad ki jai.